We are joined by crime expert Thabang Bogopa about the killing that took place in Kraaifontein in Cape Town. A very good afternoon to you, Thabang. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you, Simpiwe, and thank you for having me. Good afternoon to the viewers as well.
Now, first of all, what do these back-to-back double murders in Kraaifontein reveal about the current state of violence and crime trends in the Cape Flats?
Simpiwe, it's so sad that the issue of violence is ignored in the Cape Flats. You'll recall that just a few months ago, a school principal was killed in Kraaifontein. And just about 2 weeks ago, one gang attacked the other gang. And you'll also accept that there's no gang, particularly in the Cape Flats, that will sit down and not revenge when one of their members is being attacked, which is where we really need police to stop it. As soon as there's one death or one murder, let them come in. And I think let's recommend one thing that needs to be done back in Cape Flats, that we need mediators from the SABC from the law enforcement to start coming in, calling in these gangsters and trying to mediate between the different gangsters that are killing each other.
Right. And given the similarities in the incidents, how likely is it that these shootings are linked? And what sort of patterns should investigators be looking for?
As I've mentioned, Simpiwe, it is indeed very clear that it's one gang defending the other. And it is so sad that when we are given the public report, it is as if the motive is known. I heard when the SAPS said that the motive is not yet established. Whereas if you go on various social media platforms, the communities in Kraaifontein are mentioning that it is so and so who belong to such and such gangsters. So it is not hidden when you go there. It's only hidden on public media. But when you go on other social media platforms, the communities that are in distress there are mentioning even who is being involved in those cases. So it's only a matter of the SAPS coming in and facing the reality and being honest that these are gang-related offenses. Let us find assistance. And should they not have the capacity within the Western Cape, let them then outsource the capacity from other provinces, even as far as headquarters. But should the need arise, let them go into private sector to say who in the private sector has been so well in terms of managing organized crime, particularly gang-related murders.
Yesterday, the acting police minister, Professor Kashalia, said the country is under siege by criminals, by gangs, and they are the ones who are selling drugs and making a fortune, by the way. So what do you make of this comment and the fact that he alluded to there being no strategic or concrete plan, really, especially involving communities?
You know, I'm very skeptical around Prof. Kashalia. You'll understand that Prof. Kashalia has been at the forefront of fighting against crime, and he has been so quiet for all the years that he has been the chairperson of the committee that's supposed to be keeping corruption. It's only now where he comes as a minister and he mentions and lambasts some of these things. My issue and understanding is that Prof. Kashalia is not a new person into the security cluster. Let him have some of these conversations in closed doors with some of the interministerial committee members who are in security, because you cannot go publicly and lambast the law enforcement of the state, but also give a perception that we have weak policing or we have weak law enforcement capacity, whereas he is fully aware of some of the challenges that we are facing. And indeed, he is partially correct that in South Africa, we need to up and also improve law enforcement. But I want to say this simply. Law enforcement, particularly SAPS, has a lot of high-ranking officials. But if you look at who are at the forefront of fighting these crimes, it's the lowest of the lowest-ranking law enforcement officials in the country. Now, when you capacitate the state at the highest level in terms of law enforcement, which are people who are even afraid of getting out of the cars when they're at Cape Flats, why are you not capacitating the law level? Meaning some of the lieutenant colonels and the colonels, we need to see them being at the forefront of fighting against these offenses.
All right, Thabang, unfortunately, we're out of time, but thank you so much for sharing your analysis with us. We do appreciate your time. Well, clearly, the tragic events in Wallisdean there reflect the much deeper tensions between communities and the justice system, and tensions, really, that cannot be solved by violence, but demand urgent attention from law enforcement, policymakers and society as a whole. So we'll continue to follow developments as closely as possible as the authorities investigate and as communities grapple with how to balance safety, justice and the rule of law.